All right. So we started off with how to be prepared, how to get started, how to get moving. Momentum is super important for a service expert. And for a lot of you guys, you probably lived in the day where your service expert went out and converted the very first call. And then subsequently throughout the day, he went 3 for 4, 4 for 4, 4 for 5, or he went 100% throughout the day with an amazing average ticket. Momentum matters. So, a couple things to be thinking about with your service department. Stack the morning with money. Everything in the first call should have some cash behind it. You could have pre-sold, you could have a level 5. Things like a plumber might consider level 5. We could have a backed up sink where we could have an underground issue. We could have a leaking water heater. We could have a leak of any sort in the home. We could have a need for certain things. We could have backups, all kinds of things that could be happening. And so it's really important for us to think about creating momentum in the day. And so as we get them prepared and rolling, they've got that momentum, so we have great expectation of that. The next thing that we should be considering and thinking of is that ultimately it's really, really important to make a connection with our client. It's good to create rapport with that, whether or not that's done through the dispatcher or the CSR or not, and it's a same-day booked appointment. It doesn't matter. The service expert on the way to the home should make a connection. The picture's nice. Don't get me wrong. Service. If you have Service Titan or you have any of the other programs, and you're sending a infographic of the person that gives a picture of them and gives a little bit of who they are and what they do, that's awesome. That's really great. There's no substitute for the human contact, man. Human conversations are batting 1,000 in today's world, and I think you guys got to hear that. So on the way to the call, there should be a general reach out. We should stop. We should ask a question. We should connect with the customer. It's not about having this unbelievable long-term drawn-out conversation about understanding everything, because we can do that when we get to the house. The most important thing is to build rapport, is to make a connection before we get to the door. That's the most important thing, to overcome all of the things that may create apprehension in the customer or in you. And so just generally having a conversation will ease some of the stress or some of the mystery behind meeting someone. Meeting people in today's world, for some people, is not an easy thing, and for them, they need a little bit of a process. And so I think it's really important to engage with your service experts on what a pre-rapport call looks like and how do you engage a customer before you get to the house. And so I think it's really, really important to call them, to let them know how long it's going to take you to get to the house, to ask where you should park, to make sure that you're understanding of the environment you're walking into, any pets, any children, anything to be mindful of. My brother tells a story about walking into a basement one time and being grabbed by a monkey. I think that's probably pretty rare for most of our guys. And so, my brother's experience of going into the home and being accosted by a monkey in a basement as a gas meter reader for the Baltimore Gas and Electric, it kind of tells us, the service experts, that we have to be prepared for anything that's going to happen in a home. And so what better way to be prepared than to have a general conversation with the client before we ever get there, to understand what we're walking into, what their expectations might be, and just have a general approach to rapport. I think in today's world, we shy away from interaction and human connection because we're so digitally focused. Obviously, AI is a huge part of our world, and it's not going away. And obviously, automations and some of the things that we automate through our Service Titan or any other software program we utilize, those things are super important. Reach out to a customer to see the picture of the guy who's coming is valuable. It's incredibly valuable. But I promise you, conversion starts with the human interaction. And so it started with the phone call. And so how we place that and how we position that really plays a part and has a lot of effect and has a lot of influence in the ultimate decision in that consultation. And it has more of an ultimate consequence in that consultation if we don't do really great work in the house. And so it starts with rapport on the way to the home. It starts with being reverent on their things. It's showing them that we care about their home and we're going to fight to include them in those decisions and make great work happen here. And so I think rapport is one of those things that you have to create, and then it has to maintain itself throughout the consultation. So as you go through your discovery, as you create options and solutions, as you talk about finance, as you ask about any concerns that they may have, when you explain the warranties and guarantees, maybe go through your company story, your personal story, maybe as you kind of navigate an an objection overcome or something like that, I think it's really important to realize that if you maintain rapport all the way through and you have a really engaging relationship through that consultation, albeit for 90 minutes or 2 hours, I think the rapport is what allows people to actually kind of see who you are as a person and make an informed decision about the things that you're saying from a trust perspective. I think in today's world we talk about things like that, a lot, and I don't think we act upon them. So this is a great start, man. Let's build some rapport on the way to the house. Let's understand the notes. Let's understand where we're off to, and let's get really, really tight on what our expectations are from the owner's perspective and the homeowner's perspective to come to the home and actually deliver a product and service that the homeowner can be super proud of and actually engaging you with. And so that way you can offer them deeper insight into the problem that they have, maybe some deeper solutions to some of the problems, and then give them the choice of what peace of mind looks like for them and what longevity looks like for them and what kind of project they're willing to involve themselves in with you and your company. And it all starts with rapport. So for me, that's really the most important thing. Give me 5 minutes, I'll change your service department.